Okay, we'll now open the September regular school board meeting. 1.1 roll call. Let the record reflect that all members are present. 1.2 recognition of visitors and guests. Thanks to everyone that's here watching. 1.3 pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, 1.4 correspondence and recognition. Public participation. We've had one request. Jody Hansen.
Hi, my name is Jody Hansen, and I just wanted to take a moment to recognize our school board in honor of School Board Recognition Month. So thank you to all of our school board members for the outstanding job that you have done managing our school district. We took a few moments to write notes to each of you, and Chair Bloom has an envelope for each of you, so before you leave tonight, please make sure that you get that. Thank you for what you do.
Thanks. Jody. Recognition of students, staff, and community. Recognition items. Congratulations to the WHS Athletic Hall of Fame 2025 inductees. Clint Meyer, Matt Cowden, Jay Scheit, Casey Warner, and Amy Ernst, who were officially honored for their contribution to WHS Trojan Athletics. Congratulations to high school homecoming king Calvin Galvez and Queen Amaya Abrego. Awesome job by our Spirit of Worthington Trojan Marching Band and the Worthington Middle School Marching Band at the King Turkey Day Parade. Congratulations to Austin Kinzer and Madison C. for both earning top 10 finishes in the Turkey Trot held at Prairie View. Okay, that's all I got for that. Moving on, 2.0 approval of agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent and main agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Lori, seconded by Matt. All those in favor of the approval of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 3.0 approval of minutes. 3.1 approval of the August 2025 school board meeting minutes and school board transition work session minutes, and then the committee meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve minutes?
So move, Woodboom.
Motion by Matt,
Second.
seconded by Ann. All those in favor of the approval of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 4.0 consent agenda. I need a motion to approve the items under the consent agenda.
I move approval of the items under the consent agenda.
Motion by Lori,
Second.
seconded by Aaron. All those in favor, all those that approve the consent agenda items, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 5.0 main agenda, the 5.1 monthly financial overview. Carmen.
So you guys have in front of you the revenues and expenditure report for the period ending August 31st. The first 2 months are kind of slow with expenditures. Our revenues haven't really started coming in yet from the state. So for our revenues, the current is like 17.3% of our budgeted revenue amounts have been received compared to the 19.75 last year. So we're very consistent each year. It's just the first couple months coming in, it's slow. We had, as I explained last month, we were doing a lot of cleanup for like the end of June. And a lot of those expenditures are still coming through in July, so that's why they're not showing on this, because this is for the current year. And the expenditures actually are at 9.67% of our budgeted expenditures for the 2026 school year, compared to 12.13 last year. I did check, one of our big expenditures that we kind of been having this summer that we started July was the Prairie Roof. Ryan had said that we're about 90% of those expenditures have been paid. We have like a final bill coming. I believe the project is almost completed, so that will be there.
Okay, any questions, comments for Carmen? Okay, we'll move on. 5.2, approve the second and final reading of policy 620, credit for learning.
So this one is This one is the second reading. We had made some changes to try to be specific to some of our new to country students. Try to get some language in there to ensure that students would receive, if we couldn't find ways for them to receive some of their core credit, we wanted to ensure that they would receive some elective credit. So those were the major changes in 620.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the second final reading? of
So
policy?
moved.
Motion by Eric,
Second.
seconded by Ann. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the final reading of policy 620, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 5.3, approve the second reading of policy 414, mandated reporting of child neglect or physical or sexual abuse.
Policy 414 came to committee in August as well as to board. We added language under the definitions around what an at-risk juvenile is, knowing that we still have many students in our system that are of the age of 18, but still qualify under some of those protections. After last month's board meeting, there was no comment or discussion on it, but when it came back to committee, we did add a clarification to the letter B, very first portion there, to reference a Minnesota state statute. And then if you go to the second page, under letter G, it'd be definition C, definition G, neglect, we added of a child, knowing that we have neglect of an at-risk juvenile on the other page. So those were additions that came out of committee last week.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the second reading of policy 414?
Move to approve.
Motion by Aaron. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Lori. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the second reading of policy 414, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, 5.4, approve the second final reading of policy 515, protection and privacy of pupil records.
This is coming to final approval. There were no additional comments made at board last month as well as at committee last week. And so this just cleaned up definitions around directory information and then again referencing back what directory information is here in the state of Minnesota. And so recommending approval given no comment the last two times it's come to review.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the final reading of policy 515?
So moved.
Motion by Ann, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Matt. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the final reading of policy 515, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 5.5, approve the second reading of policy 709, student transportation safety policy.
Yeah, so last month, the first reading, some of the major changes were around the consequences portion. We took out some of the black and white, kind of detailed how we responded to consequences and made it more a general narrative regarding the progressive discipline. During committee meeting, there was some questions regarding who that behavior referral may go to and what happens next. So we did add a line that's highlighted in yellow when that referral after investigation, if it's determined there was misconduct, that we put a minimum result of a written warning and parents would be notified. And then down under records, we also added that the assistant principal is the one managing that referral. The bus company currently has access to submit that referral directly through our behavior tab in campus, but it is the assistant principals who then manage the investigation after that.
Okay. Do we have a motion for policy 709?
Move to approve.
Motion by Aaron,
Second.
seconded by Lori. Any further discussion on policy 709? All those in favor of the second reading of policy 709, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, I'm gonna put 5.6 and 5.7 together. We heard both tax abatements at 6:10 tonight. Is there anything else really?
Any further questions from me? Both Both requests have been made with all supporting documents there. Again, single-family home on 6 acres in Reading, and then a single-family home here right in Worthington, both new construction.
I move approval of both tax abatements.
Okay, motion by Lori, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Matt, and this is roll call vote.
Ms. Dudley.
Aye.
Ms. Agard.
Aye.
Ms. Shute.
Aye.
Ms. Mills.
Aye.
Mr. Boone.
Aye,
Mr. Parrish.
Aye.
Mr. Whitboom.
Aye.
motion passes. K 5.08, consideration of the proposed 2025 levy. That was at operations, Ron?
Operations, yep. This is a levy limitation the board approves every year for 2026 payable. The state has come out with their referendum market values and their net tax capacity values that drive our formulas. On the left side of your page there, it breaks down to 6 different categories: referendum market value, voter, other, net tax capacity, other, community services, debt voter, and debt other. This is very preliminary. This came out last Monday. They've already made an adjustment. It was at 8.5 last week. Now it's at 3.95 with an increase of $368,725. This will continue to change throughout the month as they are working through this yet, so. Is there any questions? In the past, the board has approved the max just because of how these are all linked to state funding. So if you under levy, you're also going to lose your state funding with it, so.
Did you say you went to, Matt, or Ryan, from 8.5 to?
To 3.95 now it is. And they'll be working through this next 2 weeks yet.
And where was that change? Was it in all categories?
It's just in their formulas that they're working through.
Okay.
They had some turnover, some retirements up there, so
Okay.
it's a little bit slower this year.
Okay, and I believe at operations, it was agreed to set the levy at the max.
That was the recommendation.
Recommendation,
Yep.
yeah. So if you guys want to make a motion to preliminarily set the 2025 levy at the max, I'd look for a motion.
So move.
Motion by Matt, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Eric, any further discussion? All those in favor of setting the preliminary 2025 levy at max, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 5.9, approved to set the truth and taxation hearing.
That is a task we have to do during this month each year. We are proposing setting that date, correct me if I'm wrong, December 16th, prior to the start of our regular board meeting.
Do we have a motion to set December 16th as the truth and taxation hearing?
So moved.
Motion by Ann, do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Darla. Any further discussion? All those in favor of setting December 16th truth and taxation hearing, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 5.10, approve the annual YMCA agreement.
Sure, I have the annual agreement here. This is an agreement that has been in place for quite some time. It's an agreement with the Y to utilize their pool spaces for our adapted physical education students. The payment this year is $2,760. That is the same amount it was last year, although the dollar amount you approved last year was less because we had a credit from underutilization that prior year. And so the days that we did not use it, they had given us credit on that total. So the Each date is $115. We had underutilized those the previous year, so we're looking for approval to again rent that space for our adapted physical education students in the amount of $2,760. That payment is due by the end of the week with your approval.
Do I have a motion to improve the annual YMCA agreement?
So moved.
Motion by Aaron,
Second.
seconded by Lori. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the annual YMCA agreement, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 5.11, discussion on the hockey agreement with the Worthington Hockey Association.
Yeah, this is just more of an informational discussion item. Wanted to just bring it to board awareness that you approved an agreement last year that was an open-ended agreement with a partnership with the Worthington Hockey Association. In that agreement, you have all agreed that $25,000 would be the cost to the district to pay for various aspects of the hockey program, including coaches, travel, games, and leasing the arena space. At the end of each hockey season in April, either the board or the Hockey Association can approach the other to try to amend the agreement. That was not done, and so just wanted to bring it back to your awareness that we'll continue on with that current agreement with a total cost to the school district of $25,000 to run both the boys and girls hockey programs. Any questions or anything that I could help answer on that?
Mr. Chairman, a question for Mr. Heidkamp on the history of the amount being at 25,000. Any record as to the last increase?
I did not go back prior to last year, so I'm sorry, I don't have that in front of me, but I could absolutely find that out for you.
Please, thank you.
Yep.
And Mr. Heitkamp, do we know if the 25,000 covers everything? I mean, obviously.
It does not. It covers just under half.
Under half.
I believe we billed back somewhere between 32 and 36,000 last year to the hockey program.
Thank you.
Okay, any more questions? Seeing none, we'll move on. 5.12, ice arena project change.
Yeah, we have Steve Robinson here, city administrator, if there's any further questions that I can't answer, but wanted to bring it to board awareness that the current plan in regard to addressing the hockey or ice arena project has been modified. The previous plan had been to build new construction north of town, and that agreement was in place with a financial commitment from the school district, a financial commitment from the city of Worthington, as well as then a fundraising campaign by the Hockey Association. As hard as the Hockey Association has put their efforts in, and with community members not seeing that that goal maybe being reached, a new party has reached out to the city of Worthington with a new plan of new construction on the current site. And so the full scope of the plan would be remodeling the current building with a new south entrance. It would get rewrapped. The concrete underneath the ice would get torn out with a new refrigeration system. And then a second sheet of ice would be built to the west of that current building and would allow for 2 sheets of ice side by side during the hockey season. In the off season, when the ice came out of that newer facility, the plan would be to have some sort of turf available for use, much like a field house, outside of the regular hockey or ice skating season. So really trying to utilize that space year-round for other members of the community. So the board has committed the $5 million to new construction. This is still new construction, but it is different than had been presented after the original pledge, and so wanted to take the opportunity to make sure that all the questions were answered and that we could all continue to move forward with the project to address that facility here in town.
So what would the total cost of this new project, what are we looking at?
Yep, total cost of is proposed at $16 million.
Okay. And we're committed at 5, Steve, city is at 5, right? You guys are committed at 5 million, correct?
I'm sorry.
The city of Worthington has committed 5 million, correct?
They have currently committed 5 million with discussions of 2 or 3 million more.
Yeah.
I think it will take at least 7 million from the city to bring the project forward.
Has there been any idea of what the association has at this point?
I believe they've raised just under $1 million, around 900,000, and I think if we are able to move forward with this idea that they should gain some additional fundraising activities.
Okay. And then the new part would be used for a field house, some kind of turf, what would it be on, for every sport, or?
It would just be a universal turf that, one that, like the turf we have at the field house is permanently installed. This would be a removable turf, roll-up turf that would be in for the 8 months or so that would be non-ice time. And we have pricing on various options of that. So it would be intended that it would be a year-round recreational facility.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, a question for Mr. Robinson.
Yeah.
Where are the other entities at on the project? The landowner, the fairgrounds, and the hockey association themselves?
We have met with all the parties. All are in favor. The Fair Board has agreed to allow the additional area to be constructed on. This project would include a large parking lot that would benefit the fairgrounds. And just so people understand, the fairgrounds are owned by the Fair Board. It's not owned by Nobles County. So the Fair Board has agreed to the project. That would, of course, be contingent on successful negotiations on new leases and things like that. The Hockey Association has agreed to this direction. Part of that is that the Hockey Association would have to give up ownership of the existing building, and then with both the school district and the Hockey Association, there would be new lease or new user agreements that would be put in place.
And a question, Mr. Robinson, then the city would be fully owned by the city, correct?
The way I have stated this is we would welcome if the school district wanted to own it, but the city will own it if it's not your wish. Our position is it has to be owned by either the city of Worthington or the school district.
And then any maintenance or things that need to happen after that, whoever owned it, if the city owned it, you would be responsible then for the maintenance
Correct.
of the facility and the liability and the things that.
Like all city facilities, we would have full ownership and responsibility and all ongoing maintenance and replacement as equipment reaches its life.
Thank you.
If this project comes to fruition, I would like to make the proposal that instead of an indoor turf, we make it a roller skating rink in the off-season.
I wouldn't be opposed to that either.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Mr. Chairman, for Mr. Robinson, is a preliminary schedule been put together as to the next steps for the rest of the fall and beyond?
So we're going to try a different method of project delivery. We are proceeding with a construction manager at risk method of delivery. And that's a statutory process we have to follow. With that we have to take qualifications. We will be publishing our request for qualifications tomorrow with a deadline to receive those on October 8th. Then a selection committee would pick the preferred construction manager. That would hopefully be done by the middle of October. And at that point, no commitment is made with anyone. We then enter negotiations with that preferred contractor for the design and guaranteed maximum price. They have to comply with all the bidding laws as they move forward. Our plan is that construction would begin in the latter part of May of 2026 with completion in October, November of 2027, so that the 27-28 ice season would be the first full season with 2 sheets of ice.
Thank you.
So would they try and renovate the old part first?
I think that would be open to discussion. My initial thought is that we would direct them to build the new sheet first and keep the existing sheet operational. When the new one is completed and can support ice, then we would close down the existing and come in and repair that. That's why it is a somewhat lengthy construction process.
Have you guys heard anything from the county? Are they?
I've had private discussions with 1 or 2 of the county commissioners and had positive reaction.
Any other further questions for Mr. Robinson or Joel or anybody?
More of a comment, Mr. Chairman, that this is a great opportunity, and this is what we had talked about, seems like 12 years ago, but is only few, on the potential ice arena in town and the concern over using the current building and enough ice space. And I think we have to have a congratulatory thank you for stepping up from private industry. And I hope that the city council hears that, because that was their comment when they chose to make a $5 million contribution earlier this spring, was that they wanted to see the private citizen to step up. And now they are, so I hope council steps forward with their obligation of dollars. But I think it's a great project for us to be a part of. And I think we've already approved it, so I don't feel there's a need for a motion to be made concerning anything else, Mr. Chairman.
No, I agree, just discussion, still new project. So anything else? Thanks for coming, Steve.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, moving on, 5.13, approve the superintendent evaluation goals.
So I'll first start by saying thank you for the time we had last Tuesday evening. A really great opportunity to collaborate, and really felt very much in alignment with all of you here that evening. I had started some of this work in preparation and really had very little modification to what I had already started, and was able to add to really strengthen this process. And so hopefully you all had a chance to review what I had shared, but I'll briefly go through it for everyone one more time. It's up on the screen. But 3 goal areas with measurement and some timing that go along with it. And then I do have some specifics that we can share that each of you can look for throughout the course of the rest of the year. And hopefully at work that's already been done. We hit the ground running, and I do say we because although these are my goals, it's very much a team effort and couldn't do much of what we've already done and what we look to do without the other members of our district administrative team. So I wanted to call that out as well. But as far as goal 1, establishing foundational relationships and understanding was a theme that I heard all throughout my interview process last winter. And so really called that one out first. By the end of the first year, I'll demonstrate successful establishment of strong working relationships with each of you, with district leadership, staff, and key community stakeholders. We've begun much of this work as a team here with our board member one-on-ones. We've already begun our initial get-to-know-you listening sessions, and I've shared with each one of those groups thus far that those will also continue each and every spring as we go into the staffing and budgeting season, so that they do also feel like they have a voice in the district-level decisions that are being made. And so those will continue. We've had the Learning Center and community education already. The middle school is tomorrow, and then the others will still will wrap up before MEA. So we're getting down there already. So I look forward to our quarterly engagements with the community. It's an event that we're calling Trojan Morning Meetups. Those will take place again each quarter at the district office. We're going to try the first one in the conference room and see how many folks show up. And hopefully it's so well attended, we got to find a bigger space. That's our ultimate hope. And then I would love to have the establishment of an advisory group that includes students, parents, and community members, again, that meets quarterly and is another sounding board for us to gain more perspective as we make decisions throughout the entire system. As a team last week, we had shared that standard 3 in this area. We would look to specific elements, engagement, and informs the community as a whole. For goal 2, looking to enhance district culture, climate, and community engagement, really leaning into that fostering of a positive, safe, and inclusive environment. We've already begun much of this work already in the establishment of a secure entrance at the high school. Mr. Noble and I are going to do walkthroughs with each one of our sites and our school resource officers. We held one of those conversations again yesterday in looking at a unified experience around safety at each one of our sites, so our families can expect to know how they're going to get interacted with and know what's going to be expected of them, whether they go to the elementary schools, our middle school, or our high school. We're looking to strengthen our district and building level collaborations with local emergency entities. That's a team that Mr. Noble will chair, but that I'll definitely be a part of. We're looking to do an evaluation of our current cell phone guidelines and come up with some clear scaffolded expectations all the way through our system. Really leaning into, I just want to call this out, leaning into that emotional health and social needs piece. That's where that one specifically comes into play. I'm partnering with a couple of folks on our district level team around the implementation of a method to make sure that we're recognizing all staff, creation of opportunities for student voice and leadership in school culture initiatives, and then the development of a comprehensive community engagement strategy, again, leaning into those Trojan Morning Meetups and taking advantage of opportunities to engage with other community groups. The 3 elements I'll be evaluated on for that area is elements 7C, F, and G, support for students, school safety and security, and emotional health and social needs. And we'll get into what that looks like, sounds like, feels like here in just a minute. Just for awareness, those were 2 that I had already called out prior to our meeting even starting, which was really kind of enlightening for me and made me feel good that we were in such alignment before even getting together. Through that conversation on Tuesday, goal 3 came to the top as well. And so by the end of the first year, I will review the district's financial health, budget allocations, and funding structures. And then based on the review, we'll begin implementing systems and structures designed to improve organization and allocation of resources. In order to measure that, you will see or hear us start talking about building specific staffing sheets, outlining student to staff ratios and allocated support staff, and then again auditing our district special education transportation and work with our transportation leadership to increase our efficiencies transporting those students throughout our system. And we called out 1 element to be evaluated on for that one, and that was fiscal responsibility. We have a timeline here, so I did not update all of this yet, but today's date is hopefully the approval of the goals and the review process. My intent would be that our next meeting, we would do just a discussion on the 90-day evaluation, which again is part of my contract that was written in based on the 90-day plan that was asked of me to present during the interview process. And then as a board, setting a date for a mid-year evaluation and then a formal summative evaluation at the end of the year. And so now there are two samples to pick from here this evening. I'll be honest, my hope and my thought would be that sample 2, which I'm just going to skip to right now, is one that I feel allows for more feedback for me. It allows for specific comments from each one of you, should you choose to provide those, while also providing the opportunity to evaluate with the rubric on the 4-3-2-1 scale. And so I guess I like both aspects of that. Again, providing you all the opportunity to provide specifics back to me, helping me grow in my position, and helping me create greater vision and clarity on where you'd like us to work as a district level team, but then still allowing for that more standardized rubric for each one of you as well. So with that, I'll leave it open to questions or comments as we move forward.
What does the first scenario look like?
The first scenario, it looks like, to me, it just looked like open comments. I didn't see an opportunity for,
That wasn't it?
yeah. Here we go. It provides comments underneath each specific engagement strategy versus comments for the goal, and then the evaluation under each engagement.
Thank you.
Under each piece, yeah.
I helped put this together, that's why it's so good, just saying.
I'm wondering under goal 3.
Yeah.
For evidence, if you might want to add the, bringing in the assistance for the special ed review
Oh,
and analysis
sure.
and proposal for moving forward. Just to give you some credit for things you've already started and are working toward. I think that falls under resource management. I'd put it there.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Other questions, comments? We basically got to approve the sample form.
So, yeah, so for approval tonight, if you're okay approving goals with the addition of the metric for the special education review, which I can add, you'd be approving the goals as presented, and then that we would use the second form in the evaluation process, and so I would eliminate sample 1 for the next time you would see it.
Okay. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the evaluation goals and along with sample form 2?
So moved.
Motion by Ann.
Second.
Darla, seconded by Darla. Is there any further discussion?
I would just like to take the opportunity to thank my colleagues and Mr. Heidkamp for that process on Tuesday. I felt very aligned with all of you and very positive about the direction that we are headed, and I was very happy to be a part of that. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, motion and second. All those in favor of the evaluation goals and using sample form 2, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Okay, 5.14, approve the superintendent evaluation process. So
That would be the second part of, so that you approved goals in the first
Oh,
one. Now
yeah.
you're just approving that we're going to use sample 2 of the 2 that MSBA provided us.
Well, means we approved that, we really need another motion for it? No, so
Okay.
just forget
Okay.
5.14, we already made a motion. Okay, 5.15, approve to declare surplus property.
Yeah, we have 2 things here for you this evening. We're looking for approval to declare a 36-inch safety saw, tabletop saw, and some 4th through 6th grade reading books, literacy books, and guided reading books as surplus property. Just for awareness, that tabletop saw is over 20 years old, hasn't been used in a while, and has definitely reached end of life for us. The books are being moved to surplus as curriculum changes and is adjusted, no longer used.
Okay. I have a motion to approve declared surplus property.
So moved.
Motion by Lori,
Second.
seconded by Eric. Any further discussion? All those in favor to declare surplus property, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 5.16, school enrollment update.
This will come as a finalized presentation next month, but wanted to provide again an update. I know Mr. Noble did that in August before school had started with some numbers that we had seen roll in, knowing that our enrollment really kind of does take an uptick as people really start thinking about coming back to school. Wanted to just take a few moments here this evening to provide that update. And so on the screen in front of you is information that you should have also had. On the left-hand side of that graph was our projected number. On the right-hand side is the number as of September 10th, pulled out of campus. When you want to look at actual numbers, projection was 4,003, and our actual enrollment count on September the 10th was 3,853. So just a little shy of that. When you look across all of our sites, it really is, a handful of students in each grade, so nothing super concerning. It is important to note that as I was digging into some of the projections that were made, 50 of those students that were short are from the VIBE program. And it was less about what we thought we were going to have and more about what we hoped we would have. And so as we move forward with our projections in the future, we'll really look at trend data versus where we want to be. Our max out number for that program is about 850, and we're right at 700 right now. So we were right at 700 last year, so our numbers have been fairly steady. But when we looked at our projections, the projection for this year was 750, which is where we had hoped we would be. I did want to break it out by building. You can see they are very close, with VIBE having that greatest dip, and that's why you see that there. But we do see an uptick in our secondary VIBE students, online students this year. So as of this week, we are caught up on online enrollments. I have not seen very many open enrollments come through our office in the last handful of days. And so the enrollment office is finally getting a chance to take a breath and rest their hands, as they've been on their computers a lot lately with, I think at one point they had a stack of 100 that was waiting to get in. So we are caught up there, and school's really off and running. And the kids, as I'm out and about buildings, the kids are great. I got the opportunity to go sit with some kindergartners at Prairie while I worked in the library and talked about rocks and dinosaurs for an hour. That was pretty cool. So kids are really enjoying school right now. Any questions on enrollment? Again, this will come with our more final October count numbers next month, but again, wanted you to have vision on where we're at right now.
Everybody good?
Good.
Okay, moving on, 6.0 reports, superintendent's reports.
Adam, I'm doing an awful lot of talking tonight.
Keep her going.
I'm sorry, this is a little longer report, so just bear with me. Couple of things to share here this month. We're excited to share that the 2025-26 school year is off to a strong and successful start across all buildings throughout our district. Each school has hosted meaningful and engaging welcoming events focused on building such a strong sense of community among students, staff, and families. At Prairie, a fun and festive picture station was a hit with students and their families. Moms, dads, grandparents, and other extended family members took opportunity to snap first day memories, capturing the excitement of a new year. At the intermediate school, students were greeted in style with a lively red carpet event. This celebration served as an exciting kickoff to the school year, really emphasizing school spirit, which included, I thought was great, first time I've ever seen this, the teaching of the school song. We sang it 3 or 4 times. It was pretty great. Our secondary schools focused on ensuring a smooth start for all students and families. The middle school, high school, and learning center hosted well-organized open houses where teaching staff were available to answer questions and connect with families. In addition, the high school held a dedicated back-to-school day for incoming 9th graders, helping them get acclimated and excited in a new school. And I had the opportunity to be here live for that, and to see 200 students give up a half a day on their summer vacation was pretty great. I also want to highlight the fantastic work of our community education and preschool programs. They kicked off the year with enthusiasm and care. Our youngest learners are in great hands thanks to the dedicated and thoughtful planning of our early childhood staff. As we build on the positive start, schools are now immersed in homecoming week. Coronation took place yesterday afternoon, recognizing this year's homecoming court. Dress-up days have brought creativity and fun to all schools, including even our district office, where today was favorite color day. I wore my black today. I'm assuming, Mr. Noble, blue is your color. All right. On Friday, we'll host our annual Spirit Walk on Trojan Field, an event that connects our kindergartners with our seniors, highlighting the journey of a Trojan student. and the excitement continues Friday night with a big game versus New Ulm, a game that brings everyone together. The week will culminate Saturday night with the homecoming dance, giving our students a fun way to close out the week. And then lastly, here, as we reflect on the successes so far and the joys in homecoming, we would just again want to take a moment to recognize each one of you, much like our teacher union did, recognizing our school board members during School Board Appreciation Month. We're deeply grateful for the time and energy and commitment you bring that is essential to this vital role. Your guidance helps shape the experience of all of our students, every family, and every staff member. And we all want to extend our heartfelt appreciation as well. And our cabinet team has some messages we'd like to share with you before you leave as well. So please don't leave without seeing me, and we'll share what our team has wanted to say as well. So that's our September report.
Get a drink of water?
Yeah, I think I'm good now for the night.
Time out. Thanks, Joel.
Yep.
6.2, Instructional Committee Report.
This is quick. We covered everything that was on the agenda for the instructional committee.
Okay. Operations. I guess I was there. Good? I
think we covered everything.
Aaron, Darla, happy? Okay. Is there any other reports? No? Okay, 7.0, other business.
I do have one that I'd like to just share that didn't make the agenda. Talking just openly, this will save a little bit of conversation on the side, but would like to propose a work session for the early part of October, looking at partnering with an outfit called Site Logic as a firm that will help us in our facility planning, our LTFM budgeting, and we met with an individual today that we think would be a good partner for our school district, but would like to introduce him to each of you. He's willing to come do a presentation, share the services he would provide, and again, offer the insights of how their organization could come in and really partner with us, work alongside us to make sure that we're utilizing our funds in the best way possible with the lowest amount of impact on our taxpayer and really making the most out of the funding that we're getting. And so we're really excited about this possible partnership and would like to propose a special work session. What date did we say? I'm sorry, it's the 7th of October. 6:15 would be our proposed date, but not looking for an action on that at the moment, but something that we can ponder, and we will post it as the notices need to go out.
Where's he from?
The company's called Site Logic. Yep, and Logic is spelled Logiq.
So if we look it up.
What's that?
It's online if we look
Yeah,
it up?
yeah,
Okay.
yep. Just for awareness, the gentleman that met with us is a retired superintendent and had actually partnered with this company previous to him going to work for him after retirement. So he was a 30-year educator. I believe he said a 10-year superintendent, finished up in Owatonna, and reached out to me a handful of weeks ago, and we had a couple conversations on the phone and through email and decided that a meeting in person was in store. And so met with him today and would love for each of you to hear more about what they could help us with.
Okay, there'll be more coming on that then. Is there any other business?
Mr. Chairman, one question I failed to ask Mr. Heidkamp on the security changes here at the high school, how that transition is going at the entrances?
Listen, everything has been positive. The only thing I can say is I think that we're still working through some of the timing of it. I was out in some buildings early this morning and came down the road right behind us here about 8:15 or 8:20 and had watched 3 students have to walk around the building to get in. So they're still learning that if they're not going to be here at that 8:10 time that they have to come in that north entrance. But other than that, nothing but positive feedback from individuals that have been guests here. Administration has felt like it's been smooth, and kids are really falling into the routine of it.
Is the intent to take out the buzzer or the microphone speaker that's there?
That was the original intent, but because those doors auto lock on the outside now at 8:10, there's no access to the buzzer anyway.
Okay.
There's no, you can't even get in the vestibule right now.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other business? 8.0, future business, possible work session.
Work session October 7th.
Got farmers here in October, you know. Joel.
Do you work in the dark?
24 hours a day. Anybody else got anything else? Meeting adjourned.